Once upon a time, in a different dimension, there lived a jolly gorilla named Ogo. Ogo was not just any gorilla, he was a comedian with a heart as big as his laugh. His best friend, a cheeky monkey named Brian, was his partner in comedy. Together, they formed a duo that could make even the grumpiest creatures laugh until they cried. Ogo and Brian lived in the vibrant, colorful world of Giggleland, a planet known for its humor and joy. Giggleland was a place where laughter was the highest currency, and Ogo and Brian were the richest in town. Their comedy routines were legendary, filled with jokes, slapstick humor, and a bit of mischief. One sunny day, as Ogo and Brian were preparing for their next big show, they received an invitation that was out of this world, literally. A group of comedians from different planets were coming together to perform their comedy routine across the universe. Ogo and Brian couldn't resist the opportunity to spread laughter beyond Giggleland. The duo packed their bags with banana cream pies and seltzer bottles, ready to embark on their cosmic comedy adventure. They boarded a spaceship filled with comedians of all shapes and sizes, each with their own unique style of humor. The spaceship zoomed through colorful galaxies, and the comedians practiced their routines, sharing laughs and learning from each other. Their first stop was the planet Zog, a place where the inhabitants, Zoggles, had never heard a joke before. Ogo and Brian were up for the challenge. As they stepped onto the stage, the Zoggles looked at them with curiosity. Ogo started with his famous banana peel slip, and Brian followed with his juggling act using glowing orbs. The Zoggles were confused at first, but soon enough, their puzzled expressions turned into giggles, then into roaring laughter. Ogo and Brian had done it, they had introduced the Zoggles to the joy of comedy. As the spaceship continued its journey, the comedians encountered a problem. A group of grumpy aliens known as the Gloomtrons had decided to invade the universe and spread their gloom. They were determined to wipe out all laughter and joy. The comedians knew they had to act quickly. Ogo and Brian, with their quick wit and humor, came up with a plan. They decided to use their comedy to fight back against the Gloomtrons. The comedians split into teams and prepared to perform their funniest routines. Ogo and Brian led the charge, performing their best jokes and slapstick humor. The Gloomtrons, initially unfazed, soon found themselves chuckling, then laughing uncontrollably. The power of laughter was too strong for their gloomy nature. As the laughter spread, the Gloomtrons began to change. Their dark, stormy appearance started to lighten, and their frowns turned into smiles. The comedians had done the impossible, they had transformed the Gloomtrons with the power of humor. With the Gloomtrons now on their side, the comedians continued their journey, spreading laughter and joy across the universe. Ogo and Brian became heroes, not just on Giggleland, but on every planet they visited. Finally, after a long and successful tour, Ogo and Brian returned to Giggleland. They were greeted with cheers and applause, and their fellow Gigglelanders were eager to hear about their adventures. Ogo and Brian shared their tales, and the laughter that followed was the loudest Giggleland had ever heard. In the end, Ogo and Brian learned that laughter was a universal language, one that could bring even the most different of creatures together. Their cosmic comedy adventure had shown them that humor could conquer any challenge, and they were ready for whatever came next, as long as they had each other and a good joke to tell. And so, Ogo and Brian continued to spread joy and laughter, proving that in any dimension, a good laugh could make the world, or universe, a better place.